Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Paradigm Chess30. We are back with the Elite Paradigm Chess30 Championships, and we are looking at the quarterfinals this morning. On our side here, we have Craig Willenberg as well with commentary, and we have the games that have started already. So, do you want to dive right into these games, Craig? You want to give us a brief introduction of yourself, perhaps?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Yes, no, sure, definitely the games have started. I would like to dive in. I am Craig Willenberg, for those that don't know me. Paradigm Chess30 is one of our brainchild ideas, with the quest to fight against draws. And we have 4 games on at the moment, where the Dragon Bishop is currently flaming, and I'd like to discuss some of those positions and get to the inform the viewers on what we're talking about.
Alright, so I have on my side Charlton Manyasta versus Kenny Willenberg. Do you want to jump over to that game? I see they're playing quite quick, so I don't want to miss anything.
Yes, no, both players definitely the online specialists. We definitely can discuss that one first. I'm curious to see how it stands over there. What is your assessment on the position?
So it looks like Kenny's just going for it. He's going for the king. They just got rid of a pair of dragon bishops, and now he's got his knight on g5. So I think he means business, and that square there on e6 also is looking good for the knight as well.
Yes, definitely an outpost on e6, and it sort of looks like that there was a sacrifice on f5, but that looks like a fork over there.
Oh, yeah.
Manyasta giving up the exchange
Um,
willingly. Whoa,
yeah.
but dragon c5 wins. Dragon c5 and it's game over. Kenny Willenberg.
I think
Oh,
yeah,
he
he just went for that. He just took the rook. I think he was quite happy with the knight fork that he got. But what I found with the previous games as well is that some players were more than happy to give the rook up for the knight that was so strong on outposts. I think Paradigm Chess30 is not only enhancing the bishop by making adjustments to the bishop, but it's also enhancing, I think, the knight as well, because outposts have just seemed to be deadly.
I see what you mean. But Laura, just there on that note, I retract my dragon c5, because queen takes dragon shows us a queen for a dragon exchange, and we've seen the queen outsmart the dragon a few times. So I think win ahead, keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Yeah.
That's a lesson we all know and should apply more.
Yeah, but sometimes we try to be fancy and we try to find these brilliancies because we want to produce those. But then we find ourselves in trouble. You want to move on to another game? I don't want to miss anything, so I just want to touch on every game before we delve into any specific games. I am on Sneaky Weasel versus Fire Bullet. So that is Ben Hercules versus Ryan van Rensburg.
Okay, let's check it out.
Do you have it on your side?
Just give me one sec.
All right.
So what I'll do is I will also create many tabs.
Oh, so you can jump from the one to the other. Yeah. So in this game, both kings are still uncastled while you are still looking for the position. I'll just point out the obvious. I've got both kings are uncastled on my side. They are definitely playing a lot slower than those other two that we had just now. Both dragon bishops are still on the board. So yeah, We gotta see which way this one goes.
Sneaky and the fire bullet.
Yes.
Yeah, no, this is more, civilized compared to the other one. Because this
Civilized.
one, I think we can call it that. There's no serious hand-to-hand combat over here.
Yeah.
Is some pawns that going to control the center. But interesting though, um, nobody wants to exchange queens because dragon takes e2 or dragon takes e7, just gives the other a tempo.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's still a lot for them to do here, for them to decide what they're actually going to do in the game. So I think let's give them some time to think a bit. I think this is a nice game to come back to every now and then because they are taking their time. Let's have a look at Rojito and Watu's game as well. Also, like you say, did you say civilized?
Okay, no. Each one is gonna have its adjective. Watu, he's a lion in a jungle, so civilization is far thing from Watu's games usually. Let's see what's happening. Oh yeah, Rojito actually, is a serious underdog in this event. Looks like the pawns are equal. And what I've noticed is if you open the F file like Rojito has here, and the rook is quite powerful in these structures. So black has the center, black has the open file, black is developing. Black is okay. Black is okay. Yes. Black is perfectly fine in this one.
Yeah.
White, of course, can never write him off.
Never. So I think
if you have equalized, it's okay.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is I'm predicting that most of these guys are going to castle, which is contrary to what we've been seeing in the other games. So I think because the center is not as close as it was before in the qualifiers, I must say I see a lot more, your normal strategies coming through in these games.
Yeah, no, castling, getting the king safe is always going to be wise when you're facing such amounts of power in a game. So I'm definitely hoping to see castling. Otherwise, players are going to get mated very easily.
All right, so let's jump over through to the last game that we still have to just touch on, and that is Donovan van Den Heever versus Albrecht van Zyl. Already castled on the side. Black seems to be slightly, I suppose, not so far behind in development, but his pieces are still at home. But he pushed d5 on the board now. Are you with us on that game?
Just give me one sec.
All right, and Albrecht van Zyl also is ahead on time. He has just under 12 minutes, and Donovan van Den Heever has about 8 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Donovan a bit rusty. So he's obviously taking a little more time to figure things out.
Yeah, no, Albrecht van Zyl also definitely active Paradigm chess player, definitely knows what's going on the board. So it's always exciting to watch him play as well. I must also point out for those that are watching, the ratings that we see here is not a true reflection of these players' strengths. This is just the rapid rating. So we've got them as 1500 and 1400 over here, but they are in fact all above 1900 on chess.com, Paradigm Chess30 variant site. So a lot of these guys are to me it feels a lot lighter. I don't know what your feel is on these games, but I must say the first round of the quarterfinals, the positions are not as closed, so that's quite interesting. And so, Craig, are you still with us? I think Craig may have stepped out for a moment. So what I'm going to do is just jump over then through to that Kenny Willenberg and Charlton Manyasta game, because they were playing a little faster. And so I just want to have a look at what's happening over here. So I think he stole that exchange up, but I think White is playing well with his knights. Previous knight it went to e6 over here, and now this knight also coming into the game quite nicely.
I think he just grabbed that pawn there.
Hmm.
In center. Because the dragon is pinned. The queen.
Yeah. And Charlton goes for the pawn on b2. Is he looking to land with his knight on c4 perhaps?
This is not going to end well for black, because the doubling up of the rook is going to hit the back rank. Queen h4, h5 is going to come soon. We've got some standard chess patterns that he's going to hit.
And on that note over here, we are watching your brother play over here. South African GOAT is Kenny Willenberg, Craig Willenberg's brother. Do you have any favorites in this tournament?
At this stage, I'm thinking it's going to be either between... I've played with Rojito, and I've played with Kenny a few times, Ali as well. Watu also you can never write him off, but Fire Bullets is extremely good as well. Playing Sneaky Weasel, those are two of the favorites at this stage. But my best guess for the victory of the tournament would either be between Rojito and South African GOAT.
Ah, lovely. So we're going to keep an eye out for them today. Of course, we're going to be covering the semi-finals at some point as well. So it seems that Charlton has a knight over here for defense that is coming through for him. So that's quite nice.
Oh, but Rook... Oh, no, he can't play. He can't play... Oh! I thought Dragon C5 again would have been better.
I was looking at Dragon C5 initially, but after the dragon went to D7, was that still possible? Over here, I'm thinking...
Yes, because there was mate threats lurking. Oh no, I think Kenny just blundered.
Is that a blunder because
dragon takes rook.
Oh, I see. But I suppose... Oh, I see what you mean. Dragon takes rook, because even if knight takes dragon, then queen takes dragon, of course. And if dragon takes queen, and then dragon, or I suppose dragon takes dragon would be best. So even if this happens, so everything is just... Yeah, I think he's gonna drop a piece here. Eh?
But you know what is interesting? After dragon takes rook, dragon g6.
I was looking at dragon g6, but that's not check. Are you looking to check with a knight? H6. Oh, queen takes h6 and that pawn is pinned. That's so sneaky.
Oh,
Okay,
he
so
didn't see it.
you didn't see
Oh,
it, or
but
maybe he was
maybe
scared of dragon G6 as well.
you think that's a fork.
And of course, that's not because these dragons can't jump. That knight, both in fact, knights are blocking that dragon from attacking either piece. So that is not a fork.
What's the piece coming out here?
Oh, I forgot, I forgot to look. So
Okay, so
let's.
so clearly when said uncivilized, I was on the right,
No, you
pointing out
were,
the right
you were.
thing.
I think it's a dragon and a knight for a queen. Is that accurate? Dragon and a knight for a queen and a pawn, I suppose. Oh no, there's another rook on the board. I forgot about that rook here in the corner. I think white is up a decent amount of material. Because we've got the two rooks that cancel out, the two knights for the rook, and then the dragon for a queen and a knight. But of course the game is never decided as long as there's a dragon on the board, because the kind of tactics that players find is just unbelievable. So although the knight on... Yeah, I was going to say the pawn was not attacking the knight because the pawn was pinned, but you move out of the pin, and now that knight is pinned in fact.
Dragon, rook takes knight now. Seems pretty interesting.
So you say rook takes knight, and then dragon takes rook.
And then knight to e6. Yeah, it wins. So check this out.
Mm-hmm.
After rook takes knight, dragon takes d3.
Mm-hmm.
Rook takes d3, dragon takes d3, knight to e6. And then the only way to defend g7 would be knight to
Dropping
e8.
back.
Yes.
That's not so fun.
And after knight to e8, then white can play knight takes g7. After knight takes g7, I was hoping to play queen to g3, hitting the knight and the dragon on two.
But what's interesting is after queen to g3, can't that dragon just drop back to where he is currently standing now? Would he not be attacking?
Back to f5. Yeah, and then we could possibly go. This dragon's always sticky.
Yeah.
Probably take on c7 or play queen e5.
But definitely onto something over there. And Kenny's down to 5 minutes. Of course, that's still a lot of time, but if relatively speaking, Manyasa's only under 13 minutes at this stage. So he decided to bring his rook into play.
Oh, that's also interesting. Oh, Manyasta is a lightning bolt.
You know, I was looking at rook takes h6 and then pawn takes, queen takes.
Whoa, rook e8, mate.
What? Oh no! Yeah, no, so I think he should have used more than the 2 minutes that he used in this entire game.
Manyasta should watch his class.
Easy. All right, so we've got a score over there. So I knew that game was going to go super quick because I saw how fast these players were playing. But what
Yeah,
I did
no.
notice was just before this round, Charlton was warming up with some blitz. So I don't know if that possibly, affected his speed of play because this is a rapid. I don't think you are forced to play as quickly. But we do have a result there for Kenny. So well done to Kenny beating Charlton over there. Let's hop
And
onto another game. We have another game finished over here. See what happened in
Watu
Watu's game. Let's find out what happened there.
also a tactic over there.
All right, so let's move back a bit, and I'm taking it from queen to d3. Let's see what happened after that. Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
All right, so queen to d3. Black brings his rook to the center. Watu just drops back, and he centralizes his rook, I suppose. Oh, so does that mean that dragon has nowhere to go that can actually protect the rook after knight to g5?
Let me have a look.
I think that's what happened. So after knight to g5, I don't think there's any way for him to actually. Oh no, but the knight is still protecting the rook. Sorry, I had an oversight over there. So knight to g5, attacking the dragon. Of course, the dragon can't jump, so he cannot take the knight. So it's always good to just remember that. Dragon drops back to f8. And that doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't cover mate. So in fact, that's what happened, right? So that rook is not defended, and that must have been, yeah, that was game.
The oversight.
Yeah, that was definitely one there, but very, very well done to Watu over there. Just pouncing on that opportunity as soon as it arose. Well done to Watu for winning his first game of the quarterfinals. So let's hop on to Sneaky Weasel and Fire Bullet. Let's see what's happening over here. I'm just recording the scores before I lose track.
Oh yes, we got an exciting in-game there.
And so white is a pawn up, right?
Yes.
And what's nice is now we don't run into endgames with possible opposite color bishops. So I think you guys did well there with some of those trying to eliminate the draw kind of positions in the endgame.
Yeah.
I was in fact asked now last weekend, but I think it's perfect to ask you because you are here today. Somebody asked what was the inspiration behind Paradigm Chess30?
What was the inspiration? Well, there was two World Championship matches quite recently between Fabio Caruana and Magnus Carlsen. And also before that, Sergei Karyakin and Magnus Carlsen, which ended in a tie, which forced him to go into tie breaks to decide the world champion. And in those matches, majority of the games were draws. 90% of the games were draws, and we thought that we just add more dynamic to chess, which eradicates the excess of draws we see at top flight level in tournaments nowadays, and successfully so. Up until now in this tournament, we've had 48 games, of which there was only one draw, and
that's a phenomenal result.
By repetition, because the one side had a queen and the other side had two rooks.
So it seems like mission accomplished over there. So well done to you guys on that one. That's definitely
Thank
a
you.
lot better than my answer. I just said, it was COVID lockdown and you guys were looking for something to do. So I think an actual solid reason behind it is perfect. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen in this end game. I think it's definitely going to be a grind, but let's have a look at the other game that is still on. There are down to just a few minutes. Donovan van Den Heever versus Ali W. Albrecht van Zyl. Donovan is just under 2 minutes, and then Albrecht is just over 3 minutes. So we're going to see what's happening on this side. So I'm always looking at material first because all of these games just become so imbalanced so quickly. But this one looks like they've got equal material. And again, the dragon and the knight on Donovan van Den Heever's side has still not moved. And it's quite deep into the game. Are you able to see this game?
I am. I am. I'm just giving it a minute, yeah, to give a proper deduction. But again, seems like things are pretty normal. Just dragons, of course, waiting to pounce on their prey.
Yeah, now I'm looking at the flexibility of the white knights as well on the king side. I'm looking at knight possibly at f5. Would that mean anything over there? Oh no, I suppose queen takes queen takes queen over here. Queen takes queen, and then the knight on G.
Back rank is looking very fishy. Phoenix Queen.
Yeah, and you pick up the knight.
Oi.
Oh, you don't just pick up the
Oh,
oh, the back
no,
rank.
no, no, no. Back rank.
Oh, I
But
see.
this still looks dangerous. I
Mm.
wouldn't be too happy here in the shoes of black. Well, I
Mm.
feel like it's something. But you also got to consider the guys have 2 minutes each.
Oh, definitely.
So what do we have here? We do have, potential sacrifices, but I mean, when you're in time trouble, you don't want to go for those heroic combinations.
Yes, like you
You
said,
know, the
keep it
one.
simple.
Yes, 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 especially in time trouble. And when ahead, of course. He pulls back. Okay, yeah, these guys are nobody's really claiming to have an advantage here, but White does seem more active, so he's hoping that that will materialize into something more concrete. But at this stage of rook check first. Wow, I love this vision zook in these positions, don't
Mm.
you?
You're
Rook check
right.
first,
You're
and then
right.
afterwards, dragon takes knight. It's all she wrote.
So it looks like white could materialize that slight advantage quicker than we thought.
Yes, you gotta love this in between moves.
So
But
sometimes you
why
don't
is
have
he
to keep it
thinking?
simple, eh? If there's something on the board, try and find it, fish it out. These guys are more or less on the same amount of time, both under 2 minutes. But he found it under this time pressure, and that king is now on h7. So it's okay. So rook takes
It's
dragon,
gonna
and
be a
possibly then
yeah.
dragon. Yeah, this is also going to be
Oh
an
yeah,
interesting in
he
game.
could have done it either way. I think
Yeah,
he was just maybe thinking about the order earlier.
yeah.
And this is always an interesting ending, rook versus dragon. Now with the knight involved, mm, maybe it's a bit better with the knight involved, so that the rook and the knight can coordinate nicely
Mm.
against the dragon because I played a rook versus a dragon a few times. Dragon generally outsmarts the rook, but
Yes.
when the rook has a pass pawn at his side, then he does have some potential.
Yeah.
Well, we also have some fire on the fire bullet side, and it seems like he has taken down the sneak.
It does seem that way. Let's see what happened over here. So I'm just gonna just take it back for a few moves.
Okay.
Let's see, we can go maybe to when dragon dropped back to a3 perhaps. Are you with me?
I am. I am. I've also got one eye on the early game.
Oh, I see, I see. So I'm just going to quickly
I
play
think.
through this because we don't want to miss what's happening there. Um, Black tried to bring his rook back into the game. You wanted to say?
Oh yes, it was the check over there that.
Yeah, so I think he just kicked this
Oh,
dragon away. And after that, dragon
that was a nice one.
disappears. Yeah.
But White was the pawn up, so he was just grinding his
He
position
was,
there,
he was.
and then until he could get a tactic. But let's tune back into the Ali W. The Rook is obviously looking to make himself a nuisance over there.
Yes.
Donovan van Den Heever is definitely one that will want to show us the technique that he has with the rook against the dragon over here. So this one is going to take another few minutes before it finishes.
Yeah, no, and I think what I like about these players as well, of course, you guys have in theory established that the value of the Dragon Bishop is 6 points, but they like to test it out, eh? They like to test, like, okay, can your dragon really take on my rook, or a dragon and a knight versus a queen, or so it's. I think it actually provokes that imbalances just to test it out.
Yes, that's the fun part. A lot of the theory that lies in the depths of Paradigm Chess30 is yet to be explored, and being the pioneers of exploring them is always fun. I think this is the first time I'm seeing this exact type of endgame.
Oh, are they going for repetition
And
over here? Threefold repetition. Yeah, I don't
oh,
know. Was it the time pressure there that was maybe scary for these players?
Ali,
But
I
I
don't know.
definitely
Let's
do
look
think
at
there's
this
a lot of
position.
play because, of course, there's no draw offers allowed in this tournament, but there's not much we can do about threefold repetition unless you are going to take on some rules from Chinese chess as well. But we've taken the Chinese horse. I don't know if we want to also implement all of the rules of Chinese chess. But let's have a look. You want to have a look at the position?
Yeah, and I don't think this was wise by Ali W,
Mm,
because there were some ideas in this last position of possibly, this king can be excavated there from his homestead
mm.
by getting the dragon to f8. And if you get the dragon to f8, that is check. And
Yes.
the only squares his king can move is to h8 and g8. And
Yes,
then
and
he
so that
drops
that pawn
his
would drop.
pawns.
I see. So maybe he was too focused on
Uh,
defending his own pawns, but he should have
that
perhaps
could
had
be.
a look at attacking black himself, and then having some threats of his
But
own.
yes.
Because of
But
course,
but one
if
thing
hmm
I want to point out that the knight could block the check of the dragon f8 check.
yes,
He
although
could go.
the f5 pawn would still be hanging.
No, no. I'm saying if in this final position, let's say white plays dragon e6
Yes.
and black plays rook takes b2,
Mm-hmm.
then white can play dragon f8 check.
That. Oh, I see what you're saying. The dragon can block that check on g8.
Knight can block that. The knight can
Oh,
block
sorry, the knight. Yes, the knight can block that check. That's quite
g8.
true.
Yes, and then the problem with that is white would play knight to e5,
Mm-hmm.
and then that might cause problems.
Oh, because you're putting so much pressure on the pawn over there.
Katie, should get something. Thank you. This is Katie here listening to some. Do you want to say hi?
You got some company. Yeah, so the players are on a break at the moment. Let me just double check if they're going to be taking their full breaks or if they are going to be getting into it. I can hear. Hello.
Why is the castle behind that?
Oh, the castle over here behind the pawn. The castle wants to take the pawn. Do you know all the
So
names of the pieces?
she's looking at the dragon castle in our background.
Oh, okay.
What is that for?
So I think you can see which images she's pointing over there. Maybe Craig, you can help her out with those names.
Yeah, no, it's a dragon. It's a dragon on our screen. But just give me a sec. I'll be back in a minute.
All right. So the players are going to start within the next about 6 minutes, and then we'll see some of those games. Let's have a look. So we're going to have the players switching colors, but at the moment we do have some results. We have Ryan leading his match with Ben over there. We have Ali W and Donovan van Den Heever both on half a point each with this position that we have on the screen over here. This was where they had the threefold repetition. We think maybe Ali W could have played on a little bit, but of course they might have their own strategies when playing matches. So they're on half a point each. We have Watu that won his game against Rojo, and then we have Kenny Willenberg that also beat Charlton Manyasta. So we have the games that will come up in the next 5 to 10 minutes. The players are just taking a quick breather, and then we'll see what they are going to get up to. So let me just refresh from my side just to make sure nobody is starting early and I'm not missing anything. Alright, so nobody is starting on that side. So we'll just keep an eye out for this. And again, to those that are new to Paradigm Chess30, this is a variant of chess that was created by Craig Willenberg and Lorenzo van Niekerk, and the aim, as Craig Willenberg had mentioned, was to try and limit the amount of draws. So what they did was they tried to make the game a little bit more dynamic by changing or adding to the movement of the bishop, enhancing the bishop by adding wings, as you can see. So it's a dragon bishop now. There's wings on the dragon bishop, but it can move like a bishop and also like a Chinese horse. So when we say Chinese horse, let's see if I can find a board that I can just show. So a Chinese horse is able to move like a knight, but it cannot jump. So the adjacent square has to be vacant for it to move like a knight. So in this position over here, this dragon bishop can go to e7, and that would be a dragon fork because it would attack the king and the queen as well, of course if the knight wasn't there, but that would be the movement over there. But this dragon bishop cannot go to f4 because it cannot jump. So dragon bishops cannot jump, but they do move like a knight. So a Chinese horse and a bishop in one gives you a dragon bishop. We also have 30 in the name, Paradigm Chess30, because there are 30 positions that can be generated from the start. So the king and the two rooks remain on their original squares. Let me just pop up to a analysis board and show you over there. So the kings stay on the original squares. The rooks also stay on their original squares. So this allows just for normal castling and from the normal position of the king and the two rooks, and then the rest of the pieces in between shuffle and then give you new positions each round. So that is Paradigm Chess30. So I'm just double checking here. If any of the players have started, they are going to start within the next 2 minutes. So everybody's on a quick break. I do hear some movement from my co-stream over there, possibly getting back onto his chair. He does have...
I am.
I'm
I'm just warming up, yeah.
Yeah, no, he does have company with him as well. For those of you that don't know Craig Willenberg, he is actually my husband, and he is sitting there with our daughter as well. So, a mini engine in the making. So, we'll hear from him in about a
Looking like.
moment.
Mommy.
Hello, how are you?
Mommy.
Good, good. I see the light has changed a bit there, or is that just the background? Or is
Oh,
there
can
a
you see the
heater?
background?
No, no, no. I'm asking if there's a heater, if the light has changed, or is it just your background that you've created? I can't quite see.
But the both, eh?
Ah, nice and cozy. Yeah, so
Those
it's
are
quite
freezing.
freezing. Yeah, it's freezing here in Cape Town. Although the sun is up and it looks absolutely beautiful outside. Not a cloud in the sky on my side, in fact. But the temperature is quite the opposite.
Yeah, so just give us an update of those results there. It's cold here, but things are getting heated there because some people in must-win situations, and I believe there was one draw that we saw as well.
That's right. So Ryan and Ben have Ryan leading their match with 1 point. Watu is also leading his match against Gonzalo, and Kenny is leading his match against Charlton. And then, of course, we did have that draw with Albrecht and Donovan van Den Heever. So they basically both also have to win. It is a must win for everybody in this next round coming up. So we're gonna see some fighting games. I think they took some time to warm up. I must say there was only one um, uncivilized or dynamic or ruthless or whichever adjective you'd like to add to that. One game like that. Although the others they seemed quite a lot more quiet. But then when things happen, they happen quickly. So one can never underestimate these positions.
Mhm. I agree. So we'll be tuning into the next game soonest.
Yeah, so they're
Let
probably
me
sending each other their challenges,
challenges.
and so then we will try and get that. We'll try and catch those games as soon as they start. Aha, we have got some games started. So the Sneaky Weasel and Fire Bullet have started their next round. I just want to get everybody up on the screen if I can. So I'm going to open Watu and just refresh these screens. And so I'm going to open up Kenny and Charlton as well. So they seem to have just started. Let's look at Sneaky Weasel and Fire Bullet. They are a little bit deeper into their game. I think we do have them, but we're having to have
I
swapped
think they
colors.
played the wrong color
Yeah, I
today.
think they had to swap colors probably. Okay, but we'll keep an eye out for that. Alright, so do you have eyes on the position with Fire Bullet and Sneaky Weasel?
Not yet. Give me 1 sec.
Alright, so let's see. So blacks. So is white. White is gave up a pawn over there. Let's see what was white's. So white played e4, giving up the e4 pawn, and now he's got f3 on the board as well.
Yeah, Sneaky's going for broke over there. He's got
Definitely.
to win that one.
Yeah, so winning that one then keeps him in the game. And then we're probably going to have some tie breaks.
But you know what? These rapids gives you a chance to actually figure everything out.
Mm.
So gambits, I've tested gambits quite a bit. You got to be quite sure that you're going to get an advantage. I do feel that white has got nice compensation for the gambit pawn because there's no presence of black in the center, and I'm thinking he's going to get active play for it.
Yeah, you've definitely had your fair share of experience against these gambits, eh?
Indeed, indeed. Mr. Lorenzo has essayed it a few times in the blitz. In blitz, most definitely it works. Nice, huh?
I think what would be quite interesting is if possibly sometime the two of you, if we had you on camera and the two of you, you know, trash talking the way you do, playing a blitz game. And I would like him to play gambit against you, so we can just hear what's going through his mind. I think that would be quite fun.
Ah, that would be great. I will only do it on one condition.
Oh, these conditions, let's hear.
We both wear dark sunglasses and
Okay.
music while
I'm sure that can be arranged. I think he's got a few pairs here inside that he can choose from. So I think we can get that going at some point. So let me just open up here this game with Watu and Gonzalo. Let's just have a look at them. We don't want to miss any action in the start.
Manyasta also kicked off with Kenny Willenberg.
All right. I see Watu's got a triple pawn here. It's not often you see this. Yeah. On the C file, Watu versus Gonzalo. This is quite interesting. Is he wanting to, I don't know, create lots of outposts for the knight? Alright, so we've got that dragon just spinning the knight over there. I suppose doesn't want that knight to become centralized, although you do have the white knight that would challenge it if it did land on d5. Alright, so I think there's one game that I don't have up yet, so I've got Watu. I've got two of, oh no, I think this is the new one, this is the old one, sure thing. Let me just get everybody's games up so that we don't miss any action, because sometimes things do happen early on in the game. So let's go to W, Ali W, Albrecht van Zyl, and Sanisha, which is Donovan van Den Heever. Of course, they both have a draw. So they are both in must-win situations if they want to win the stage of the quarterfinals with progress to the semifinals. Let me see, we do have fire bullet. I think there might be one last game. I think they've now started the, oh, that's the old game. Let me refresh this one over here. I think they should have gotten the correct colors, and here we are. So everybody's games are, I think, on display. Let's see, Fire Bullet, South African, Ali W, and Watu as well. Okay, so this was I think the most recent game that started. So let's see how these players decide to develop. So of course Charlton's going to go for broke over here. He is a point down in this matchup, and he will definitely be trying to clinch this one, and it looks like he wants to do so quite quickly. So he's pushing up the pawn there on the side of the board to h4. But again, we never know which side the kings are going to go. So we'll have to see. We hope that it's not all in vain, that he's putting all of his pieces on the side of the board. Let's have a look.
That's why generally you want to go focus on the center.
Yeah. So Charlton Manyasta has his pawn up to h5 already.
But I mean d5.
Definitely,
No.
definitely. And he's just playing so quickly. I mean, he's got more than 15 minutes. I think, these youngsters, they eat a certain pottage. I don't know. We don't eat those cereals anymore when you reach a certain age.
Yeah, no, they've upgraded the blend of Pro Nutro nowadays.
No, definitely. And I mean, he doesn't often make bad moves, even though he's playing so quickly. It's not often bad, but we did see him
Hmm.
making some oversights in the previous games. So I think when we do have positions that require a little bit more analysis, there might be minor slip ups, but I think in general, I've seen he's quite sharp. This Charlton Manyasta, quite sharp. Alright, so Kenny just taking his time there trying to see what he's going to have up his sleeve over there. So let's have a look at Fire Bullet and the Sneaky Weasel. I think they were the first ones to start, so they're a little bit further into the game. We do have that pawn on h7 missing, and it has been replaced with a Dragon Bishop. I don't know how I feel about that.
What is happening in this situation? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like White could possibly just put his queen on the H file, and then mate will be coming up. I don't know, is there anything for black here that I don't see?
Mm, I think he's obviously gonna go for as much pressure as possible for counter attacks.
Yeah, so even as I see he's dropped his Dragon Bishop back to b6 now. Is he wanting to play c4 perhaps with that discovered check, but does it do much because I'm sure that check can just be blocked by either the dragon or the knight. Possibly. Oh no, I see. If it's blocked, and then the dragon on h7 would be hanging, right? So I suppose black does have some play here because the white king is not at the safest position.
So after queen to h5, what is black going to respond?
Is there a defense?
I don't see one, and I think that's what Ben is thinking about.
Yeah, because I mean, even if I would think that's the only reason he dropped his dragon back to b6 was possibly for that discover check. But I don't see much after that. I don't see if there's anything that he can, follow it up with and strong enough to stop that mate.
Mm-hmm.
So surely we're expecting to see that from Ben. So if we do hear a sound in a few moments with that game ending, we'll know why. So let's move on to Ali W and Sanisha. Albrecht van Zyl versus Donovan van Den Heever. So he's got some pressure here on this diagonal, attacking the rook on h1, black, with his last move being queen to b7.
I think maybe rook g1, rook f1.
So we're going to keep this king in the center, you say?
It seems that way. Whoa. You can actually castle right now.
Yeah, that's true. You definitely castle at the moment.
I think that's definitely what White is thinking about.
And I see them both playing on opposite sides of the board as well, so it does seem like this one's going to be a fight. Alright, while Donovan is trying to figure that one out, I think we haven't had a look at the Watu versus Gonzalo game. So that's Umgusho versus Rojito over there. Basically in the end game here with, okay, so those triple pawns are long gone. But a end game over here, Watu with a pawn up. Luckily no opposite side color bishops, but I'm quite curious to see how they're going to display what kind of techniques here in this kind of endgame.
I was too happy to keep it simple since he's won the first game. Could trade off dragons, and then we would be heading to a very, very rook pawn ending. So good strategy here by to engage.
Quite safe.
The rook. Also, what I've noticed is if the rooks come off here, the dragon is going to have a lot of fun with the passed pawn. Just like a queen would walk the pawn, the passed pawn, the dragon can also very nicely walk his passed pawn, even in the face of the other dragon being around.
That's nice to point out there, and I think on that note we should be looking at producing some strategy books for Paradigm Chess30, eh? New in-game strategies and so forth, because there's so many new things coming up here.
Rook d8, and that's game over, isn't it? Not yet.
I don't think it's game over, but
Dragon c3.
Are you talking in terms of just exchanging the rooks and then having that dragon endgame should favor black?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I was gonna go for. And then the e pawn, doesn't that also possibly drop along the way?
Oh, I would imagine so, because well, unless he plays dragon c3. But yeah, that pawn would be dropping along the way, and then I think that would be definitely in his favor. But of course, Gonzalo was able to find that dragon c3. I didn't hear the game ending with fire bullet and.
He did play queen h4.
Oh, I see.
He did play queen h4.
And then he did play c4 as well. Check.
So, but it's difficult with this king to hide, eh?
But can't you just block this check?
Knight.
Yeah, with
D4.
a knight. Knight d4, then the queen can't check
There
you
we
anymore.
go. He's done it.
I don't think there's enough for black to follow this up with. I don't see any other checks on the board, do you? But I feel like a check is the only thing that's going to stop the mate. Yeah, and there we have it. Ben coming back there in that match, 1-1. So it seems that we will have a tie break. Let me see what the tie break systems are for the quarterfinals. Okay, so let's see tie breaks. I'll have to double check on the tie breaks because I think I see these tie breaks for the preliminaries. Craig, do you perhaps have the tie break system for the quarterfinals? Is it the same?
Just give me 1 sec. It's yes, same as.
Okay, so game. I see. So there's the directing counter and most wins is not applicable, but we'd still have the same tie break system. So it's again 2 games against each other, 3 minutes 3 second increment, and then after that we've got that golden game. So Ben has had experience with that. Last week he played against Ali W, but Ali W came out victorious in that tie break. So we'll have to see what happens in this one coming up. Definitely a tie break with Ben and Ryan. Another one. Was that another one that I heard?
Yep, Manyasta won there.
So is that another tie break coming up?
Another tie break coming up.
And tiebreak start at about 10:30, I think. So but let's have a look what happened here with this game against Kenny, because we saw Charlton was a bit aggressive here in this one from the start, eh?
Indeed.
Alright, so I'm gonna take
was
it back to knight takes knight, I suppose. Knight takes c7, and then we can see what's happening from there. I just need to look at the position of here. I don't know who's winning in material. Was black up a piece here for some pawns? Alright, so the queen attacks the rook. And the queen enters on b7. Quite menacing. Charlton actually decides to castle when the game is almost over. So that's quite interesting. Kenny's trying to push the queen away over here.
And then it was just too much, the attack.
I think so. Because this dragon bishop drops, and that's also a check. And I think that's just too much, and that's over. Alright, so we're definitely going to be having 2 tie breaks. So at the moment we have Kenny and Charlton that have to enter tie breaks, and Ben and Ryan that will have to enter tie breaks. So that is 2 matches, 2 games in black and white, and that's 3 minutes 3 second increment, and that will start in about 20 minutes. But we do have 2 more games going. So we've got Albrecht versus Donovan van Den Heever. Again, Donovan down to about 5 minutes, and Albrecht has about 10 and a half minutes. But let's see what's happening on this board. Yeah, I see it, he castled. I don't think he wanted to keep that king in the center, so I think casting definitely was the best. Is that where he used all of his time? Surely not. Oh, yeah, I think he used a lot of time there, because there's not a lot of moves made since he's castled.
That moment.
So that was definitely a big decision for him over there. Definitely still a lot to play for here in this game and in this match. Of course, the only thing that would send these 2 players into a tiebreak would be a draw. Let's just have a look. Is this game still on with Watu and Gonzalo? This end game with Watu and Rojo.
Yeah, that one's still going there, but I mean, comfortable there for Watu.
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna keep an eye on the game. This Ali W versus Sanisha.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Watu comfortably qualifies over there.
Yeah. So what would your plan be here for white in this game?
See, white just played knight c2, getting his knight out of the way of the center pawn. What I have noticed is you shouldn't block your center pawns, which is a general principle in normal chess. And e4 definitely on the cards. And of course we could hassle that dragon bishop on c6 with knight to d4. But again, that would be in front of the center pawn. So e4 probably the main thing here that I'm thinking. e4 then d4, and then have a massive center.
I think that's definitely something that he would be considering, eh? The
Indeed,
center
White looks like he's more developed and
coordinated
is
as
going to
well.
have time. Yes, yes, definitely. Black, but White is a pawn down.
Yeah. Sorry, I almost confused it with that the gambit that we saw with Ben and Ryan where he played e4.
Mm.
But yeah, no, that's
I'm
not the
curious,
case
was
here.
this a gambit?
Let's take it back.
This was also a type of gambit. Black tried to hold the pawn and losing time in the process.
Hmm. Alright, so then we do have b4 on the board. Yeah, it seems like he's just driving white back. back, all his pieces are like on the first and the second rank. But of course, black is also underdeveloped. And so we've got some plans for white on the board. Is there anything that you are looking at for black on this side?
Well, okay, White just made a very interesting move moving the knight back.
I don't know if he had like options to move
Choice,
forward. I don't
yeah.
know.
That B4 move was uncomfortable.
Mm.
See, Black using his extra pawn there to good use.
Mm.
Knight D7, Knight C5 looks very nice for
And there he
for
goes.
Black.
Yeah, he's got knight d7 on the board. Possibly then aiming there for c5. And like we were saying earlier about the dynamic of the pieces as well. So now when a knight gets to a nice spot, you're not going to give your dragon bishop up for a knight because of course the dragon bishop is worth 6 points and the knight is still worth 3 points. I think I heard a result somewhere.
Watu managed to win that one as well.
So is it only Watu that's through to the semis at the moment, right?
It seems that way, and I think if there's a decisive result in the Ali Donovan game, then there will also be a
Somebody through there to the semi-finals. So Watu is the winner of that one, and so that is going to be the last game we see of Gonzalo at the moment. But well done to Gonzalo for making it this far, and well done to Watu for entering the semi-finals. He will sit out on the tie breaks, of course, and he can enjoy some time off. And then we'll have to see who he is going to verse in the semi-finals. Let's head on to that game with that last game going. So I think
things are
sorry.
very much in the balance.
Yes, no,
Very much in the
definitely.
balance. It's the clock's gonna play a telling factor, yeah.
But do you think also that Black would be looking at bringing his c pawn up further onto the board, and then just like you say, be making full use of that extra pawn?
That would be nice.
Because I think he'd be
I think
pushing.
that was his
White.
intention by moving the dragon away.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that his dragon was on the attack.
Yes. But I think that would be a nice plan, and I think you know, being up on the clock and then also being the one to be pushing white's pieces back, I think, do you think Ali is feeling comfortable over here? Did he, oh, he took that dragon, exchanged the dragon. I know, I think, to me, I feel like the exchanges would be benefiting black somewhat here in this position.
Yes, black does seem pretty comfortable now. To c5, c4. You got pass pawns running. You got a nice position.
Yeah. So I suppose
Okay,
that,
he's obviously trying to hold.
yeah.
He's trying to hold that square.
So would you possibly put a rook behind that pawn?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so he went for that
Wow.
anyways. So if knight takes, is he planning on pinning the knight? Oh, but the queen
No,
is
the
still
queen is
falling.
hanging.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there something we're missing, Craig? I don't
No,
know.
maybe.
I mean, that dragon bishop moved like a bishop and not a knight. So I don't think he miscalculated the bishop's movement. What do you think he thought?
Oh, what do I think he thought? I think he actually, you can't always figure out what the opponent was thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe we should ask him afterwards.
I think that would be good, yes. But of course, this is a vital game because whoever wins this game is through. So
It's an equal ending.
yeah.
Maybe you thought the ending was more convincing. No, actually, he paused before he exchanged dragons. So I'm thinking he thought he could have pinned, but he might have forgotten that
The
his queen was
queen.
hanging with the dragon.
That's possible. Because now whose endgame do you favor? I mean, this is now a normal endgame.
Still black,
Hmm.
just because of his activity and the pass pawn and the center. However, this could go either way.
Yeah, because black still, I think black has a little bit more weaknesses than white, but like you say, he's a little bit more active, so he's definitely more dynamic. I mean, you could easily put that rook on c4 and then bring the other rook into play as well. I don't know if that's something that he could be looking at.
I was also looking at rook c4 right now, but white obviously has ideas of where he's going to play the queen, otherwise he wouldn't have played the queen there.
Yes.
But I don't see what he's seeing. So rook c4.
I think
Let's
so.
see if he's going to play it. Just give me 1 second. I just need to get a brownie.
Alright, you do what you gotta do, and then I'll keep an eye on this game over here. So this is of course the last game of the rapid games in the quarterfinals, but we do have tie breaks coming up. So we have a tie break with Ben and Ryan, and then we also have Kenny and Charlton that have to make it through tie breaks to earn a spot in the semi-finals. So the tie breaks will consist of two games against each other, black and white, but the time control will just be shorter. So that will be 3 minutes and 3 seconds. 2 games of that, and then of course if it is still a tie, possibly 1-1, and then we're going to run into that golden game. So the first player to win a game will then be going through to the semi-finals, and that tie breaks will be happening possibly in about the next 8 minutes. So Albrecht definitely up on time here and definitely using his time, although I would have preferred him possibly to use a little bit more time. on that c5 move, but of course he might have somehow preferred this endgame and gone into this, or it might have been an oversight from his side. And then of course he does have this pass pawn, and yep, there we go, rook c4 on the board. And so of course Donovan van Den Heever having to make the moves quite quickly because he is under a lot of time pressure. And I would probably just beat this rook.
You know what? Maybe d4 first.
Oh, I see.
Just complete dominance.
Yeah, it seems that I think he might actually go for that because he's taking a lot of time to think now. I was just mentioning he didn't take this amount of time to think about c5. Possibly that was an oversight, or maybe he just preferred this endgame. We don't know.
Yeah. Nice.
So how did the brownie mission go? Did you find one?
Yes, actually, the brownie mission actually got swapped for an orange.
An orange? Wow, that's like amazing parenting right there. Alright, so yeah, Donovan of course anticipating this double up on the c file and then just developing his knight, but then also just keeping an eye on the c file as well, and then attacking the rook on c4 at the same time. So I think if white is able to, you know, catch his breath kind of and coordinate his pieces, I think he would have more points of attack in terms of weaknesses in black's camp. So black definitely has to stay dynamic, I think, to have the upper hand in this game. Because there we go, just attacking this pawn here on b4. So would rook a4 pick up this pawn on b4? No, he can still go, I suppose, defend at the back.
He didn't play that move d4, eh?
No.
Boy, now the knight is alive.
Yes.
I wanted to restrict that knight.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, as soon as, like I say, white starts coming alive, I think black is going to find himself in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, no, because obviously Sunisha, the more experienced normal chess player.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
So we're gonna deal with some extremely interesting in-game technique.
And I think Sunisha is probably a little bit more comfortable now that that he's developed his knight and his rook has also come out a bit, and black doesn't seem so overwhelming anymore. So as we speak, I think the other players are also getting ready for their tie breaks that's coming up. And so we also have to keep in mind that G7 is mate, eh? Queen
Okay.
takes G7 is mate. And
Sometimes
then,
you do something else and then you forget.
and then of course we have these pieces that are gonna be hanging as well. So black has some. Is that not
Oh,
mate?
no!
Is that not mate? Wow, at least we saw the mate coming. Otherwise, we would have also been quite as surprised as Albrecht was. But yes, we were all thinking positional, and there we go, a checkmate on G7. So well done to Donovan van Den Heever over there, qualifying for the semi-finals. So what we will have up in the next few minutes, I think 1 or 2 minutes, is going to be the tie break. And I think that tie break is definitely 3 minutes, 3 second increment, and we are going to see what these guys are going to get up to. Alright, so they are getting ready, trying to decide which color, who's playing what color. And while we are waiting for that, I like to just check out which other countries are playing the variant. So I do see somebody here from Denmark. That's the first Denmark I've seen. So that's quite cool. I love how this is just spreading across the globe. So today we have Denmark in the house playing Paradigm Chess30. Alright. So it's just nice to see who else is on the scene. So of course South Africa's got the most Paradigm Chess30 players, because this is where it was invented, but slowly but surely we see other players across the world, across the globe, taking to Paradigm Chess30. So I think we do have that Sneaky Weasel and Fire Bullet entering the tie breaks. And I am so excited to see what's going to be happening here, because of course Fire Bullet is not Fire Bullet for nothing. So he's definitely quite quick. But the Sneaky Weasel is also not sneaky for nothing. So I think the matchup between these two characters are going to be quite exciting. And I'm actually quite glad it went down to tie breaks. It gives us a little bit more entertainment.
Especially these two.
I just don't want to miss the start of the other match as well. I just want to double check. Okay, so we had a result there for those people from Denmark. Let's refresh on this side and let's see if we can follow it. So these games happen so quickly. I don't want to miss, and especially if it's Kenny and Charlton as well, because they're also quite quick. Don't want to miss too much, but I think we have our eye here on Fire Bullet and Sneaky for now. The other two have yet to start. Did we have another gambit over here?
It seems that way.
And Sneaky just pushing up the
Gambits
board.
do work nicely in variants.
Oh, you see, yes. Okay, so he's just trying to stop that king from castling, I suppose. Trying to keep him in the center over there. Kind of showing what his gambit is about. And as you can see, these players have been playing a lot of Paradigm Chess30. They are both over 2,000 rated Paradigm Chess30 players. Craig, do you know what the normal rating of these two players are?
I'm not sure, but they both should be around 2100.
I think so, more or less the same rating. but definitely 2100 roundabout there. So we've got opposite side castling on the board. Of course, black couldn't go to the king side, and white is just wasting no time. So while we know what's happening there, I know we don't want to miss too much, but I just need to double check that we are not missing anything on the other side of the tiebreak as well, because of course we have Kenny and Charlton that are also versing each other, fighting for their spots in the semi-finals. Alright, so we've got Kenny as white and Charlton as black. So we do have a knight at the side of the board here for black, which is quite interesting. What do you think?
Going for that square.
Yeah, but knight takes, what's that, e4 and...
Yes, I actually did this against Manyasta in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if you don't reset after a loss, things can go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
And
So
Kenny here on the on the side that looks like he's going for the central attack.
Definitely a lot of dynamic play coming from white over here in this position.
Yeah.
I'm looking at developing my dragon to d3 as well afterwards. Of course, we've got to
Now
deal
it
with
seems
those.
like won't take some thinking would be nice.
Okay. Yeah, he's I think you guys think the same. You and Kenny are making suggestions, and then he seems
Just gotta
like
watch
the
out for
same
the
intuitive.
double check now on Dragon C5.
So he
Looks
sees
like he
that.
sees it.
No, these guys
So
are
I would
quite
just
sharp.
get that king out of the way. Well, okay, but now he has to get the king out of the way.
Yes.
But you see the activity is essential in
Definitely.
these positions.
That was a result. That sounds like a result. And that was...
The sneaks.
Yes.
He snuck it in.
Yeah, so we said white was the one going for it over here, but I'm just going to backtrack it quite a bit here because we missed quite a bit. Maybe until knight went to d4 for black. I think maybe we can take it from here and we assess a little bit from here. Are you with me?
Yes.
Alright, so knight to d4, dragon drops back, and fire bullet just playing on the f file over there, king moving out of the way. So it looks like black is also quite in the game, eh? So it's not to say that this was just a walkover.
I think when he played the knight attacking the queen c4, that then allowed the discovered attack which black didn't hold on to.
Ah, I see, you're right. So that's what happened in that first leg of that match. But while we are still here in the first match of the tiebreak. Let's keep an eye on this Charlton Manyasta versus Kenny Willenberg game. Okay, so what has happened since we've last been here? Some exchanges have happened, and the G file is now open. And what's crazy is because usually a bishop on b6 would make sure that the rook can't go to g1, but that's not the case over here. In Paradigm Chess, you're not so easily going to give your dragon up for the rook, so then that G file is still available for Kenny to play on if he wishes to do so. Oh, this is going to become a time scramble. Couldn't you just push past? Wouldn't that knight be trapped? Oh, then I can go back to b8.
Yes, but he would have had dragon d5 check first.
Ah. Why is it that White's king is all of a sudden the one that's a little bit more exposed, eh? I think it's going to be who is the fastest, not only on the clock but in the attack as well. And what about a rook lift for black? Rook to e6. I don't know, would that pose any threats coming to the h file? Oh, so of course he wants to get that dragon check in. But I think now after dragon to e3 we can maybe follow that up. Maybe with knight to f3 and then knight goes to g5. Yeah, I think the knight going to g5 would be quite nice because then you've got some lifts of your own.
Consolidating. I agree. Now maybe taking the d file.
Yeah, I think knight going to g5 there. I think also maybe just provoking those pawns to advance a little bit.
Yeah, back.
Okay, so now that knight is pinned, but I mean there's no more checks on this king.
Rook g2.
Oh, these guys are going
we're
for
gonna
it.
have a the f4 pawn is hanging, f5 pawn is hanging,
so
and not anymore. Rook,
yeah.
Rook on the d file.
Yes.
Okay, so it's gonna be absolutely insane commentating over this time.
I can't deal. Like, it's so, the adrenaline rush is crazy. I cannot imagine what these guys are going through. So it's all about who makes the last mistake. Oh, the time! Oh! No! Alright, so we've got Charlton over there taking the lead in that tiebreak. And then, of course, we have one round left of these tiebreaks. So Charlton in the lead of his tiebreak, and then Ben in the lead of that tiebreak against Ryan as well. So of course, if Ben is to win or draw, and the same in Charlton's case, win or draw, they are through to the semi-finals. If they do end up losing both to Ryan and Kenny, then we have a golden game on each side. I'm always here for more action, so I'm ready to see that.
Indeed, so final game is going to be extremely pressure for those that need to win.
And these guys just jump right into it, hey? I am telling you, they don't waste any time. They are running on the energy that they have from the previous game. So I think we should have a look at the Fire Bullet and Sneaky Weasel, because they are both on 2 minutes, which means they've been into the second leg of the tie break for about 2 minutes already.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just ground myself over here. I just need to see who's playing what color. I'm already just looking at the board. I haven't even seen. Alright, so Sneaky Weasel is black, and then Fire Bullet is white. So Sneaky Weasel, of course, Ben Hercules, and Ryan van Rensburg there with the white pieces, Fire Bullet. Am I seeing things, or is there a dragon missing on this board? I think white is just a dragon up. But I mean, I don't have my specs on, so I might be missing something. But those wings are quite big.
He's going to go to a golden game.
I think it is going to go to a golden game. And that's the thing, hey, these guys are so evenly matched up as well. It's tough competition.
Tough indeed.
Dragon for Queen, thank you so much. I knew I was missing something. So there's a dragon off the board, but there's also Queen off the board. So Dragon for Queen, and I think black is also up an extra pawn. So black, and that would give Ben 2 points actually, if Ben had to win that one. Thank you so much for pointing that out there, Mapungubwe. So then this tiebreak should be concluded, and I would imagine that the Sneaky Weasel, Ben Hercules, would be taking this to the semi-finals. I hear some analysis in the background there as well. What does the engine say?
I'm just opening the sweetie here.
Oh, we need some energy. So there we have it, Ben Hercules through to the semi-finals. So that Ben Hercules through to the semi-finals, Donovan van Den Heever, as well as Watu Kobese. So we've got those 3 players already through to the semi-finals. Quite a tough semi-final already, and now we still have Kenny and Charlton fighting it out, because there's still one more spot open for a player in the semi-finals. Of course, Charlton leading this tie-break match. He's got 1 point up, and then so of course if Kenny is not able to pull a result in this one, he will not be through to the semi-finals. But if he is able to win this game, we go to the golden match, the golden game. Alright, so then we do have Charlton here with the white pieces, and then of course Kenny with the black pieces.
Lots of maneuvering taking place. Yeah, so white is the one pressing over here in this game. Cementing his knight there on g7. That's quite interesting. And then of course Kenny seems to be playing more in the center. That knight went to visit the king.
But now it seems he's being held hostage there. But of course that square on e6 is also looking quite nice for the white knight.
And some exchanges taking place.
But I think is white a knight up here in this position?
Seems that way.
Or this knight?
Not missing anything again.
Yeah. Yeah, Charlton is very fast. Mapungubu is pointing out there. He is really fast. I mean, he's got about 2 minutes left, and they start through 3 minutes, and Kenny's down to about 40 seconds. So definitely quite fast.
Interesting scenario now, where the knight is going to
Yeah, the knight must penetrate
oh
there.
now oh
Is that dragon bishop the problem there?
no, but the F file opening up could be problematic.
You're right. So white
Nah,
is
Maniac
attacking
is
the dragon and
super sharp here with the tactics.
yeah. Okay, but Kenny's also got a few things up his sleeve, it seems.
Pawn takes maybe?
I'm looking at pawn takes. Quite sharp, this young man.
Yeah, no, I think it's done and dusted here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, unless there's some mating nets, but I don't see. So that is Charlton Manyasta winning that tie break over there. So we are going to have to say goodbye to Kenny for now, and we have the winners as Charlton Manyasta, Watu Kobese, Donovan van Den Heever, and Ben Hercules. So they are all going through to the semi-finals. I just have to double check what time that is starting, but I do believe that is at 11 o'clock. So I think that's in about the next 9 minutes. We'll have that one going up. So yes, I do see 11 a.m. with the first semis. I do believe we only have one round of the semis today, and the other round of the semis, and then of course the finals will be following up tomorrow. Let me just double check that. So we are on Saturday the 27th, and we are right on schedule with those tie breaks finishing right on schedule. 11 a.m. to 11:40 will be the first leg of the semi-finals, and then tomorrow we're starting again at 9 a.m. all the way through to about 12 o'clock. We will have a winner tomorrow noon. Alright, so let me just see if I can arrange a few things for these players. Alright, Craig, are you still there?
I am.
Alright, I just got to step out for one moment, and then Can you keep us company for about 2 minutes?
Sure, but
Let's see if I can, because I gotta get them on Zoom. I think maybe we can do it from here. Let me send the details. Let's see if there are any other players playing. It's always quite nice to see that. Nobody else playing at the moment. But then maybe you can just give us a refresher on what Paradigm Chess30 is all about for those that possibly are joining now for the first time.
okay. I'm actually challenging one of the players here.
Oh,
that
you
is
are. Did you get any takers? Ali
Ali
W.
W.
Okay, so I'm going to have that on the board and you can speak as you go along.
Okay, cool. So it's always wise to just try to open the dragons up. Feel that is essential for better living, and why not control center? So the basic principles still apply. Of course, your knights gets knights outposts in these situations. It's always a good idea to get the knights out in the outposts. I'm looking to get to the center and perhaps Castle Queensland. Oh, why is he resigning?
Did something go wrong maybe?
I think the he says that game, that final game we lost was a bit much.
Oh, okay. Alright, so let me start a... I'm trying to invite some players. Alright, so I think we're just getting ready here for the semi-finals, busy doing some last setups, and then we will jump right into the games as soon as they start. We are going to also have the players on Zoom so we can see what their expressions are when they are playing. And of course, in the semi-finals we have Ben Hercules, Donovan van Den Heever, Watu Kobese, and Charlton Manyasta. Such an exciting lineup. So I have it here as Watu is going to verse Ben and Charlton is going to verse Donovan.
Exciting matchups.
Definitely. I think what's quite interesting about this matchup is that Watu and Ben have been playing Paradigm Chess for quite some time, and the two of them are meeting each other in the semi-finals. Whereas Charlton, he hasn't been playing as long, but he's been playing quite often, and Donovan also just popping his head in to the Paradigm scene. I know he's played one tournament before, but definitely the more experienced players in the semi-finals would be Watu and Ben. So let's see if we can get some of these players on Zoom. Let me see if there's any players possibly just waiting in the... Oops. Let's see, you can't open it there. Alright, so let me see if some of them are waiting to be let into the room, the Zoom room. Alright, so the players are getting ready and we'll be starting soon. We're just waiting for some of them to update their Zooms, also me to get them into the Zoom room so then we can have all eyes on them while they're playing. Alright, so we have Donovan wanting to join. Let's see if we can get him into the Zoom. Hi Donovan, how are you doing? I see Charlton is also waiting to get into the Zoom room. The Zoom meeting. Let's see if we can admit Charlton as well. So we're just waiting for these 4 players to get on. So let me see if I can. Let me just add them. Hi, good morning everybody. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Good. Thank you for bearing with me for a few moments. We're just trying to get these Zoom cameras up onto the screen as well so we can see everybody. But well done for making it through to the semis. You guys have been playing some hard games. Exciting to watch, eh?
Charlton.
Exciting. Yeah, no, Charlton, they on the stream they say you're quite fast. So I think that you guys are enjoying the quick
Donny.
chess.
Donny. Hey, Donny. Good
Sorry,
man.
I had earphones. Can you guys hear me? I had earphones on. Sorry, man.
I can hear you now.
Listening to music. Sorry, man. But I just want to put in my toothpick now.
Then you are ready to go.
I got many. Yeah, but I'm not playing chess now. You know, man, I'm not playing. I haven't played this game for a month again. Every time I go quiet for a month, I'm quiet.
I'm surprised Andy gave you a draw with that one, when he had the dragon.
Ah, yeah, that was.
I was sleeping, man. I was lucky, obviously.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
He just needs to keep one of his pawns and then improve
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. You can just give
Give up one pawn and improve.
Yeah. And just keep playing. I mean, and your king is weak, yeah.
Yeah, you see, I'm so rusty. I missed that intermezzo rookie 8. I don't know. And also, Queen,
I saw.
I know
I saw.
C5 was a
Yeah.
bad move because I'm not developed. Yeah. It's okay.
Okay, but the games were interesting actually. I was watching.
They're extremely
Then I got lucky
interesting.
with the mate, no? I got lucky with the mate.
Oh, they're on G7.
Okay, but I think you are better, no? In that position. Anyway.
Yeah, maybe, but he can complicate somehow, I think. I don't know, some D4 somehow, but I might play D3 and exchange sec. There's not enough compensation, I'm pretty sure. No?
But I like your knight on F5 anyway. It's very good. I mean,
Yes, that was
very
later.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah, that was later.
Oh, later you mean? Yeah. When I mean knight F5 in
Yeah.
this position.
Then I win an exchange for sure. He should probably play D4, but then it's like a lost ending. But it's like little time, so my king is. I don't know, man. It's like tricky. I'm rusty, man. I'm not sure I can win that.
We see on the time there, Donny. The time runs quite low.
But I think in this variant, it's also very difficult to evaluate the positions. You know, it's crazy. It's like you see a position and you are not sure. You know, if I go in, it's crazy. You know, this position, that position.
You must some strange move. So you must some strange move somewhere. No? Maybe some long bishop move or something. No? Which just in with some knight threat or something.
It's nice. It's exciting.
You know, in that division, Ali, you should have. I saw the only weakness there for me. You should probably try and get the bishop to. If he doesn't go for a pawn, queenside pawn, you should just get the bishop to f8. No?
Yeah, of course. But then I saw maybe if he goes like okay, let's say he gives you the a2 pawn, then he goes dragon e6, okay, and then but if he goes dragon f8, you actually have knight g8 still, yeah. You have knight g8, and you are solid still.
Oh, I see. And then I can still go for the pawns now. I see.
Yeah, you can still try, but he should be better. He should be better.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like it's rook versus. What's the value of this thing? Like it depends. No? Like it's somewhere between 6 and 7, or what's it? The value of this
it depends.
So
sometimes more, sometimes more, sometimes less.
Rook and 2 pawns and king safe and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly, number of factors. Yeah.
As with any piece in chess, I suppose, depending on the position. But you guys, if you are ready, we can get into the games. Is everybody ready to challenge? Do you know who your opponents are?
Ben, will you challenge me then?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
All right, so I'm going to mute myself as well, and you guys can mute yourselves, and then good luck, everybody. All right, so let's just see the games that are up, and then we can watch them. This is the first round of the semi-finals, so let's have a look at Ben versus Watu. Let's see if we can see what's happening over there. I think they're going to switch colors again. But when that is up, and then I will be able to then have a look at that one. Craig, are you still there? I think somewhere we lost our guest for the moment, but I'm so sure he'll make an appearance as soon as he becomes available again. So let's just see if these players then have started their matches. Let's see, let's refresh this, and then let's head on over to Sneaky Weasel versus Ngusho, who is Watu Kobese, versus Ben Hercules. So this is the first round, semi-finals, and we are getting so much closer to finding a champion for Paradigm Chess30 Elite Championships 2023. I think I hear some movement there. Are you there, Craig?
Oh yes, I'm here.
All right, so they've started their games. So we are on Watu and Sneaky Weasel at the moment.
I'm there.
They're just figuring out where they want to develop. Are there any strategies that you prefer when you start your games?
Yes. Perhaps going to the center, like a normal chess game.
Mm-hmm.
Developing your knights and bishops. Can't say minor pieces.
Yeah. I suppose one minor piece down. Some player, or I suppose Megan that was with me last week, she pointed out that she doesn't like bringing her dragon bishops out too quickly because it feels like you're defying that rule of bringing your queen out too quickly because the dragon bishop is so powerful. What is your take on that?
Well, yes, it's can get hassled by the knight or the rook in this case. So, not ideal to have those dragons wandering out too far. So you kind of gotta when you develop them, you kind of gotta look at the knight's path. You don't want to be on the knight's path when you develop your dragon.
Oh, true. And Kerry gets kicked back so quickly.
Yes, so indeed it's quite nice to develop them, but just watch out for the knights. And it's actually not that difficult to dodge the knight's path. If you're not on his path, then you'll be quite fine. For instance, Dragon G3 is on my mind for white, or even Dragon E2. I find that the Dragon on E2 and D2 is nice and flexible.
And also not as easy to be kicked away.
Yes, and controls quite a number of squares.
So I see Sneaky Weasel just bringing his queen out over there just to make space for that, for the king to castle. Because sometimes it can be quite annoying, this queen so far on the side of the board, eh?
It can become difficult, but you know the queen on G, you know you can castle queenside and possibly go G5. Always a nice idea from strongly. So unsuspecting now, that's a strategy black could go for.
No, definitely. So we do have the cameras of the players also on the screen, which is quite nice. So we see Watu and Ben over there both in a think, and then we have Donnie and Charlton as well on the screen. So let me see if I can find that game of theirs. This one, I need to go check out that Donovan and Charlton Manyasta game, so I have that on the board as well now. So they've there's a dragon battery already on the board over here for Charlton, and of course Charlton more than 15 minutes of the clock.
No, that's standard. Standard Charlton, and yeah, no, black seems to have the center there, but white seems just a tad bit more coordinated, focusing on the D5 square, knight to D5, looking strong for white. But yeah, this game is still wide open.
You think maybe Charlton's thinking of castling queenside?
Potentially.
Donovan was actually indicating earlier that he says he's quite rusty, so I think that justifies, I suppose, the time difference in most of his games, eh?
Yes. Indeed.
But he did speak about that game that he says he was lucky against LAW, that draw that he got away with. They were definitely looking at that Dragon F8 idea that we had.
That was an unfortunate decision there.
Yeah.
That could have actually maybe still kept him in the game.
I think so. I think they might have gone to a tiebreak if that result had been different. And then, of course, the same structure here for the semi-finals. It's a match consisting of 2 games. Of course, the winner of the match goes through to the finals. But if it is equal, then we might see some tie breaks again. Just give me one moment. Alright, so it seems there's some exchanges since I've last been here.
Blank seems to be a pawn up,
Ah,
but white also having difficulty with his castling.
so players that generally like to give a pawn for active play would quite enjoy this variant, right?
Indeed. So we got international master Donovan van Den Heever versus Charlton Manyasta, and in game 2, Watu Kobese versus candidate master Ben Hercules.
Let's have a jump and look at that second game. What's happening with Watu and Ben Hercules? They seem quite far into the game. Is this another dragon and rook endgame? And Watu again there with the pawn up? No, this is different games, sorry. I must say it looks too similar. I saw the rook was dropping and that's how the game ended. So let's look here. Okay. Yeah, so this definitely seems to be the game. So what's nice about this bishop also, like that bishop on c8, it can actually still come out to b6. It's not entirely blocked like in some positions. Some openings will usually have that light square bishop is problematic for black.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
And now I'm saying that the dragon bishop on c8, it still has options to develop like you developed over there. But normally in normal chess you've got some problems with that light square bishop on c8.
Yes, I see. So he managed to develop it quite nicely. I think you just the side of your border is cut off slightly. There we go.
Thank you. So with each round these boards get less and less, and we're actually able to keep an eye on both of them basically at the same time over here.
That's nice. Which one do you think is more interesting at this stage?
I feel like there's still a lot of tension here in this game, in the sense that decisions haven't been made as yet, but I do think that the game with Donovan and Charlton would definitely be faster given who is playing, and it looks a little bit more open, so possibly a bit more dynamic. Would you like to have a look at that one?
I am looking at it now, and I'm seeing pins and needles and dragon attacks all around. And it looks like it took a turn now. What happened?
So let me just quickly assess this position. What's happening here? This king is still in the center, right?
Yes. Let me rather go to the live board. The king is still in the center, but something happened. Because white
has an extra dragon for a rook. I think that must have been... Let me just go back a few bit. So I'm going queen to c2 for white. Of course attacking that queen on d8. Queen moves out of the way, and the rook is threatening the dragon now. Okay, so that's how that happened. So then when white attacked the one dragon, the other dragon decided to attack the queen. So I think that's how those exchanges happened over there.
And then what happened?
Of course, the queen is able to go to d8 because that dragon cannot jump over pawns, or over anything. Yeah, nice move there, f5. Yeah, so he invited that that exchange over there. I suppose simply just to keep that king in the center and put pressure on that e5.
It's gonna be a dragon and versus a rook and a knight, essentially.
We have had that, right? We've had a dragon and a knight versus a rook and a knight, but not just a dragon versus a rook and a knight.
There's the dragon, which is generally 6 points, versus a rook and a knight, which is 8 points, and black's got white's king in the center as well. But Manyasta does have 13 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just surprised he's not still over 15 minutes. That's his usual for him, but okay, he's got 13 minutes on the clock. And of course Donovan is there on 5.5 minutes. And we've seen in the time scramble how important that extra few minutes are. Eh? Sometimes just that extra few seconds, but in this case probably going to be minutes. Would you prefer your black, right?
Yes, definitely. Definitely, especially since the king is still in the center.
Although you could get out to the center now, I suppose. But then,
After he decides what he's going to do with his queen.
Yeah, I don't think this is so fun for white. Alright, let's have an update there on that that other board. I see it doesn't really move much when I'm not displaying it on the big on the big board. So let's see what's happened. They're definitely playing a slower game. Fairly equal.
Nobody really wants to make a blunder here in these situations.
And again, like I said, these two players are definitely the more experienced Paradigm players. Been playing since almost from the beginning, eh? So it's quite a tough matchup.
Indeed.
Whoa, did I just hear something ended there on the other side?
Yeah, seems like it's the Donovan Manyasta game. I'm sure
Oh, did
Manyasta
he?
might have gotten it.
I think he blundered his queen. Yeah, he blundered his queen. He put his queen on h5 and then queen just takes queen. And that's that game. So well done there to Donovan for winning the first leg of the semi-finals, and then that is all they will be playing today. They'll be back in the morning again for the second round of the semi-finals. So then we just have that one game going then for the rest of the day. Today we have Watu versus Ben Ngusho versus the Sneaky Weasel in the first round of the semi-final match. So, just beyond this game, that... Oh, there's so many things happening, because if knight takes the pawn on f5, that pawn is pinned, right? But then he can just push c4. But now that he's hit the bishop away, can knight not take on f5? Oh no, but I suppose a knight and a dragon for a queen is a bit too much, eh? I suppose it would be okay.
Knight and a dragon with a queen generally operates slightly better than the two against one scenario. But it seems like these guys are really putting up their fortresses. But we know when that time comes down, the sparks are gonna fly.
So Watu over there has just under 7 minutes, and Sneaky Weasel has just over 3 minutes.
I think knight c4 should be fine. But yeah, there's gonna come a stage where you're gonna have to, give up these prophylactic moves and break open. And it's gonna be in the next few moves, I'm assuming. But I like king h1. I like king h1.
Yeah, somebody's got to make a decision here.
Like still keeping his options open with his king. But definitely looking like a queen side. Central push. This is it.
I think so too.
I have woken up from my snooze.
I can hear in the tone of your voice that you're a little bit more excited now after that has gone onto the board. But what to do now?
I would love to know what's going through their minds. So the tension is quite high here, and of course both players not wanting to mess up in the situation. And I feel, to be practical, you gotta save some time for when the dragon tactics are gonna come. But when you're in this moment, it is very difficult for you to just choose a plan, as there are so many plans available.
Yes, and so of course now Watu attacks that white queen and pushes the queen back, but that pawn on c5 still under attack. Alright, now Watu brings his other dragon.
I think Watu is going to use his time advantage here, and if he does so wisely, he will definitely be the victor as he's tightening the screw. Seems like he's a little more advanced in the center and on the king side. Ben asking questions on the knight. So is that knight coming back to go forward again? Knight h5, knight g3.
That's a good idea.
And I don't think Ben spotted that.
But that
If
knight's
that
not able
comes-
to go to g3 right now. Does white have enough time to do anything about it if black decides to go there?
Knight to h5 does threaten the f4 pawn, but I do see a strong response after knight h5. White does have knight e5. Bam, castle.
Oh, I did not expect that. But I was looking at the e6 pawn possible weakness.
White keeping true to his queenside attack, even though there's no king. It'd be nice to activate the A rook, I guess.
Yes, although black can push past.
But
Oh no, yeah.
B5, yes, will be a nice,
Yeah.
nice look because after B4, oh, he doesn't play it.
That's
After
B6.
B5, we got a beautiful discovered attack.
Because the black dragon will be attacking the white dragon, but not vice versa. So if he had gone there, this discover attack would be quite nice.
I think that would have given black the edge. But I've seen Watu play such constraining positions recently when he plays Paradigm, where he doesn't take much risks. He doesn't take much risks and prefers to be solid and avoids many of the dragon confrontations.
But I suppose also because his opponent has to prove that he's able to play with these pieces, and a lot of the times if you leave your opponent with all of the decisions, sometimes they make a wrong decision. If you're playing those forceful lines, then it's easier for them to decide, okay, I should defend here, okay, I should probably go for this, that, or the other. But like you say, if he plays these constraining positions, it's kind of leaving the ball in the opponent's court, and the opponent sometimes does not know what to do.
That could be a good strategy.
But I do think white has to get this dragon bishop on the A files into the game somehow. It seems to be at the edge of the board with nowhere really to go. I was looking at knight to e3, but if knight to e3, then the pawn on f4 is hanging. So yeah, black squeezing white a bit. White struggling to find moves. Like you say, queenside play for white.
Some play is better than no play.
But I suppose after exchanging a few times on b4, then that knight can possibly hop to e5. It takes. And then just
Definitely. The knight will definitely be hopping like a bunny in this position. The bishop becomes fierce and the knight just becomes a grasshopper because he can literally hop anywhere he likes.
yeah.
And there's many holes in black's position. Now I'm seeing dragon b2 as a very interesting maneuver.
So white's getting creative over here.
Indeed. So we're going to definitely be testing the fortress that Watu built. Okay, he goes for it. Finally, Watu makes an active move.
Finally.
You don't generally have to wait long for this in normal chess. But I have noticed Watu playing a different brand of chess, different style in
Yes.
recent tournaments. Ooh, this looks exciting. It's going down to the wire.
Yeah, I would imagine that at this point that something would happen on this board because they both have 1 minute, 2 minutes left on the clock.
But yes, Watu choosing to strike just on the moment of time trouble. That is a nice strategy. Hold, and the facial expression says it all.
Yes, no, definitely, because now that knight goes to the center over there.
Ooh. And
So I saw the facial
this-
expressions in the calculations. I wasn't
saw
sure.
too. I saw too. And this is why we are for this moment.
Yes.
The dragons are now
But is everything just still
one
equal?
center traded. Yes, it seems that way.
So that was just an exchange of dragons over there. But now
Well,
that
that did-
knight seems slightly misplaced, or you still think it's good they're going to g3?
Well, if he plays pawn to f4 now, I'm thinking that black is still in the driving seat. I don't think he'll miss f4. There's few moves better than f4. I know c5 is hanging, but f4 is f4.
No,
Like,
definitely, because
so-
I don't think you are going to mind giving up c5 with f4 on the board, because then that to g3 is real.
Just watch out for dragon takes g3. But
Oh, I see
yeah,
that
like
pin.
you said, he's real. He's real.
Don
But,
Dragon
even
is in the
takes
house
g3.
here with the chat, and he's saying, ha ha, f4. So, so
F4.
yeah, f4. So definitely on the board we will be excited to see f4. But welcome to the chat, Don Dragon. It was great watching your game as well, and well done on your victory over there in your first semi-finals. Okay, so we don't have f4 on the board. We have rook to g8. I suppose now
Similar
threatening
idea.
check, because now that the piece defending the knight is no longer pinned. So knight to g3 check is a real threat here, so we cannot take that pawn on c5. And of course Ben now under 1 minute. Okay, so he goes for it. So I'm assuming he's going to take that knight if it goes to g3.
Because the dragon is hanging.
True.
But I was thinking dragon d7 now.
Yeah, attacking the queen and
And he's-
the pawn.
Yeah, that seems.
But after
Seems good.
dragon to d7 and queen retreats to e3.
Fear.
Oh, still.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's
it's
an
not so
ugly
simple
move.
because you can just leave the queen there as well because the queen can't get taken because you pinned.
That, yeah. So I would imagine
the-
going there.
It's definitely time for
Yeah, there we go, queen
action
e3.
over here.
So they're both on about 40 seconds. So it's nice to still get 10-second increments. So f4 is finally on the board, Craig and Don Dragon. Okay, so I think
Was not necessary, but I would have preferred knight d4 in that position. But I mean, that's the pressure is on.
No, it's crazy.
And
Yeah,
the
the pressure.
knight coming to d4 does still look like a very viable option. And this knight is going to be worth a ton in this endgame. So maybe it's not such a bad exchange sacrifice after all.
And technically, the
Knight with
material's
the
still the
fast pawn.
same, right? Because knight and 2 pawns
Yes.
for the rook. And I think this relieves a little bit of the pressure because now that f4 pawn is gone and that knight that was threatening g3 is also gone. So I almost feel like
exposed.
yeah, and white can breathe a bit.
Black is the one with chances.
Mm.
And black is running low on time.
Yes, for the first
And,
time in this game.
The look on Watu's face doesn't convince me that he's comfortable. Ooh, the rooks enter. But the dragon is lurking.
And this is what we are here for.
Oh no! We had to shut that dragon down when we had a chance. Knight d4 earlier would have been fine, but now, yeah, he's got to hide for dear life. Ooh, rook to g3 is trying time. Trying time. Well, black finds rook to g3.
I'm trying to find, is there anything white can do about it if it happens? He might just have to give his dragon...
King h2. King h2 was probably the defense there. But now...
So what are we going to have to do? Drop the knight back?
What is he threatening? Can't he take knight takes d4? Oh, he's going to play rook takes g.
Yes, I feel like there's a lot attacking that g pawn.
No,
so
but there's a dragon check in between.
Oh, for white, yes, that on f7.
Yes.
So I was looking at this for a while
Depends
now,
which
yeah.
rook he takes with.
Definitely. But if he takes here, then this... Oh, but I suppose if he takes here with this rook, and then you can't take the dragon because of mate, right?
Action! We have action!
So what's he gonna take with? Oh my goodness, yeah.
That's the right rook.
Yeah,
That's
because
the
now
right
it's mate, right? So, do you have to play rook takes?
You can go dragon f7 immediately.
Dragon f7
That's
and
an
then...
in-game, but I think black's gonna be better in that in-game. What else do we have here?
Can you go rook takes?
Yeah, it's the only thing, and now we take the dragon after this. Rook takes f7, then we take the dragon.
Dragon king h7 and Don Dragon says dragon g5. Dragon g5 it can't because the discovered. Dragon g5 after rook takes, it's a discovered. So complicated indeed, Don Dragon. Oh no, he goes there, and that is...
No, but the knight takes the dragon. The knight
oh,
takes the
you're
dragon.
kidding! Yeah, no, Ben's hand is on his head now. He's shaking his head. He's in the same boat as we are. We're just like, what is happening here?
You shouldn't play with this dragon, eh?
Oh my goodness, but what about just... Oh my goodness.
Dragon f6 now. Rook takes f6. Then we take the dragon. Knight takes dragon afterwards. He's forced to play rook takes f6.
Yeah, knight takes dragon. And, okay. So...
Now, yeah.
Okay. Exchange
we have
up.
this position.
Yeah. So
That's all I can say. We have this position.
Yeah. I don't know. Do I prefer white here? I prefer white here. Don Dragon, he agrees. He says white is better. White is winning. And I'm gonna agree here. Technically, white is more material, right?
Technically, but we do still have a game on our hands, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, but I don't think white can lose. Just give me 1 second. I'll be back in a minute.
All right.
But yeah, I think at least most of the smoke has cleared.
Yeah.
We're gonna have another, but I'm loving white here. I think the sneak has snuck this one.
Oh, and that pawns are just rolling up the board. I don't think black is going to hold this one. I think this should be winning.
I think so indeed.
Because we've got these pawns in the middle of the board. We also have an outside pass pawn, and this king is just extremely active. So yeah, no, I think this should be over. Unfortunate in time trouble, definitely, and that is usually when the explosions happen, in time trouble. And for most of the game, Watu was in fact ahead on time. Yep, there we go. Don Dragon, knight a7, knight b5. And those pawns should make it to the end. So we've got king b6 over there. Suppose there's many ways to play this. Don Dragon had a7 as a suggestion over there. No need to zip it, Don Dragon. You can go on and you can tell us as much as you see.
Yeah, no, king b2, b7, and it's over. So
Yeah, it's
tough
definitely
one there
over.
for what to. I don't think he should have moved his king. I think we should have taken perhaps when it was on f7.
The dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Watu is looking to the side and leaning back. Yeah. So let's hear from the players. Craig, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear the players, but I'm going to try and get them in on my side.
Okay, it's fine. I'll be in standby.
Wow, what a game, guys. Watu, are you the only one left on this call, it seems? Yeah, what a guy. I think that time trouble was tough over there. But what a display on that side. Watu, is there anything you would like to say or to add to today? I think you're still on mute.
Yeah. Am I still on mute or what?
Oh, no, you are. I can hear you now.
Sorry?
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I managed to lose that. It's completely winning.
No, definitely. I think the time pressure, was that a factor?
Yeah, of course. I mean, but I should just take. I can take immediately on f7.
Yeah, we were looking at that. Were
And
you
then-
considering that?
I thought I should have more.
But definitely you had most of the pressure, most of the game,
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm winning, but now I see how I should do it. I should play. I should play King H7, then Knight, then Dragon G5. I should play King G6. Then after King
Yes.
G6, he must play Dragon E4 check. It's the only move. Because he can't take the dragon because I made him. So he has to play Dragon E4 check. Then I play Dragon takes Dragon, D takes. Then I play Rook takes G1, King takes G1, and then okay, but his Knight, I don't know. Huh? But it's winning. I mean, but okay, in time trouble, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let me just go back. I managed to completely spoil it. Then afterwards, I was so shocked that I spoiled it that I still continued playing badly. I mean, this position after Rook F2. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, this is quite, it's overwhelming for black.
No, it's completely winning.
Yes,
I mean, when he
yes.
plays Knight takes D4, I can just play anything. Dragon A8, you know.
Yeah.
And just I don't think he's gonna move. After Dragon A8, there's no move.
Oh,
I mean,
see.
what do you play?
After
Yeah,
which
move.
move is this now? So
After 35, Knight takes D4.
Knight takes D4. Oh, so you're saying, yeah, just pull the dragon back.
Yeah,
Hmm.
just Dragon A8.
Yes. Oh, that is actually
And,
quite a strong move, eh?
No, it's resignable.
Yeah.
The position he can resign because he probably has to play Dragon E3. Can I move the pieces here? Ah, yeah. Okay, so Dragon A8. He probably has to play Dragon E3 because Knight F3. I just take it. Rook takes F3 and Dragon takes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, that's not possible. But
so you have to
dragon
play
E3.
Dragon E3. Now, wow. Now Rook G3. Rook G3.
Rook
Exclamation
G3.
mark. Yeah. Finished. The
Oh,
idea
you're
is that
right. Oh my
If
goodness, what a
Dragon takes
beautiful
F2, Rook
move.
H3 is made.
Yes, what a beautiful move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, just Dragon A8 and it's resignable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon A8 and there's nothing to play because I'm taking on G2 and there's no move. Yeah.
Yes. No, definitely phenomenal display from both sides both sides today. I think Watu, definitely. I think this Dragon A8, and it's not always so easy to find that move in a time scramble when you are going forward all the time, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've got 31 seconds, so it's not. Yeah. So Dragon A8 was winning. Okay.
Yeah.
So then let's see, but I'm still winning. I think after Rook takes G2. Okay. So Dragon F7 check. Okay, King H7, yeah, check. Now I think yeah, King H8 is a bad move because then I'll have to take the dragon. I'm forced to take the dragon in a bad position. So the only move maybe is here, King G6, then Dragon E4. Check. Then dragon takes dragon, pawn takes. I have to take. Oh, this is also okay. Then Rook A2. No, this position. Lauren, are you still there?
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to get back. Yeah, I think I lost you there. So you say
Okay, so after Knight takes D4, which
Knight
is move,
takes.
35, yeah?
Yes. Okay, I'm there with you now.
Okay, Dragon A8 is winning, but
Yes,
okay. So
okay.
I played Rook takes G2.
That's
Are you
right.
still following?
Mm-hmm.
Then he plays Dragon F7 check, King H7,
King H7.
Dragon G5 check.
That's,
right?
Yes.
So now I should play King G6.
Yes, we've had this suggestion over here. So let's, I think, yes,
Dragon E4.
admit. So I'm just going to add Ben and Donnie also. They're still watching, so they can also be added to the conversation there. Then we just add them back here, and then they can also Ben and Donnie also. They're still watching, so they can also be added to the conversation there. Then we just add them back here, and then They can also so they're still watching, but they can also be added to the conversation there. Then we just add them back here, and then they can also so they're still watching, looping, yeah. Be added to the conversation there. Then we just add them back here, and then they can also so they're still watching, yeah. Conversation there. Then we just add them back here.
But okay, but even this variation, King
Dragon
H7,
F4, yeah.
you have
Dragon
to
F4.
play Dragon
F4.
G5
Dragon
check.
F4. Dragon F4 maybe, yeah?
Can you, are you still
which instead of what? Sorry, what?
Dragon F4, yeah. Dragon
you
F4.
play King H8 is a mistake. After you play Dragon,
Which instead of what?
after
Sorry.
Dragon G6 check.
Dragon G6 check. Yeah, what do you want instead?
So if you play, okay, so you play Dragon F7 check, right? Move, what move number is this? It's move 36.
Okay.
King H7, yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon G5
Dragon
check.
G5, yeah.
Now King G6.
King G6.
You have to play Dragon E4 check. Yeah.
Why can't I go to F4 instead?
Dragon F4.
Yeah. Instead.
Yeah, this is strong. Yeah, so Dragon F4. Yeah, so yeah, so this rook takes G2 is a mistake though, yeah? Just
Yeah,
I found a
definitely.
very
At least the other rook is better.
no, but I found a very nice mate here. Okay, after knight takes D4, I should play move 35.
Yeah. Dragon A8, yeah?
Yeah, Dragon E8. Now you have to play Dragon E3, I think, because
Rook
what else?
G3, Rook H3, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. Now you have to play Dragon E3, I think. Well fought, Japan.
Yeah. There was an interesting moment earlier. Well,
Dragon E3, I think. Well fought, Japan.
Yeah. There was an interesting moment earlier.
Dragon E3, I think.
And now, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. There was an interesting moment earlier.
Dragon E3, I think.
And now, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you now, but which position?
Okay. Instead of B4 95 there was something.
Instead of what?
Okay. Instead of B4. Instead of 95 immediately.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, 95 immediately. I was thinking about this. Okay. Yes. Yeah, okay, I will have to take, and then Dragon takes pawn.
And then Dragon C1, eh? And then
Sorry?
and Dragon C1.
Yeah. But I thought that, my attack is quite... Then I play Dragon C7, Pen.
Dragon H6, yeah?
Yeah, no problem. Dragon H6.
Yeah, you just move Queen H7, yeah?
Queen H7, then you can't survive this. Knight H5.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
It's too much, yeah?
Yeah, it's a bad position. I agree with you. I think I was just getting crunched there. I got lucky at the end. I mean,
Yeah, no, you fought well. To that's what it's all about. So, yeah, very interesting game. Well played.
Yeah, nice game. Look forward to the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. See you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks. Cheers.
All right.
From the players over there, proving to be the winning variation. But of course, that's what happens in chess. Alright, so that's what happens in chess. We win some, we lose some, and we escape some as well. So extremely well done to all of those players for those phenomenal displays over there. Charlton unlucky there with that queen slip, blundering the queen away. But of course he has a chance to come back tomorrow. So the score over there is 1 to Donovan, and also in that match with Watu and Ben, such a phenomenal display over there at the end, and that was Ben coming out victorious over there. So extremely well done to all of the players. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and then also crowning the champion of the Elite Paradigm Chess30 Champs 2023. All the best to all of you, and have a good day. Bye bye.